In this video we show you how a new user is created. Enter the React user interface. A new user can be added either in the main window Users by means of the button New User or in the main window Clients through the menu item Create User. While the path via the button allows the creation of a new user for any client, in the case of creation through the menu, the new user will be created for the currently selected client. In our example, we have chosen the path through the menu in the main window Client and want to create a user for the client Sun Hotel. When you create the client, you also have to create the first user for this client. Only then can this first user of the client log into the React server or to the mobile app. Since this is our first user, you do not have yet a template and use the button Create User in the menu. After clicking the button, the empty detail window User will be open. The fields that have been marked with an asterisk are required fields and therefore absolutely have to be filled in. After entering the basic data in the dialog window General, in the next step the authorization codes which are required in the app for operating the system or systems of this user have to be entered in the dialog window Details. Please note the difference between the user ID, which is needed for logging into the React server, and the code authorization level, which is required for operating the fire detection control panel through the app. Furthermore, you have to note that the code authorization level does not have to be the same as the code on the FTCP. Then you have to set the rights of this user in the dialog window Rights. The individual users of the client can have different rights. Furthermore, the rule that users cannot have more rights than the clients applies. For a user of the end customer, usually the following rights are recommended. Is allowed to create new users? Yes. At least one user of the client should be provided with this right so that the end customer is able to create additional users on his or her own. Is allowed to create new clients? No. The end customer does not need to create additional clients on his or her own. Can view all visible systems? Yes. Is allowed to create and connect systems? No. The end customer does not need to create systems on his or her own. Is allowed to add new enablements? Yes. Authorization level 2 allowed? Yes. This is the authorization for operating the zones and detectors, sounders, etc. The same as on the FTCP. No, if the user only wants to view the events on the FTCP but does not want to carry out an operation via the app. Authorization level 3 allowed? No. The authorization level 3 should not be available to the end customer. Receives notifications of lower level systems? Yes. If this is desired by the client. No, if the client does not want to receive emails or push notifications under any circumstances. SMS notifications can be sent irrespective of the setting. In the next dialog window, Notifications, you can set the system's events for which notifications will be sent to the user. Simply select the desired event type. In the case of push notifications, it is also possible to select the tone which is to be played back on the mobile end device if this event has occurred. Push notifications are transmitted to the mobile end device on which the user has logged in through the mobile app. However, the push notification will only be shown on the app on the mobile end device if the app is not visible in the foreground. That means only if the app is in the background, if it has been minimized, or if the display is dark. Email notifications are always transmitted to the address that has been set in the dialog window General. You should also watch our video, Changing Functions through Enablements. Finally, the language setting in the React user interface can be made in the dialog window Language Format. In the React user interface, German and English are available. While the React app offers all languages, that are available on the BC600. At the moment, some 15 languages are available on the BC600. In addition to the language setting, in the format which the date and the time are displayed can also be changed. These were all the data that are important for a new user. After clicking the button Save and Send Invitation, the data will be stored on the React server and the new user will receive an email with the activation link. The new user must click on this link within the next 14 days. As a result, the activation window of the React server will be shown in the default browser of the device on which the email with the activation link is opened. For the React user interface, a device with at least approximately 8 inches is recommended. For the mobile app, devices with a smaller display can also be used. The user must read the terms of use and support guideline. Then the user must define a password. This password, together with the user ID, forms the basis for logging into the React server. The user ID cannot be chosen or changed. The password can be changed anytime. We have just created a user in React in a quick and clear way.